Everyone, this is Daisy Camila here making my informative speech about mochi ice cream. Are any of you guys familiar with the dessert called mochi? Have you guys seen it or have you guys tasted it? I'm pretty sure with how familiar Asian culture is becoming lately, especially in the Western world, you guys have at least seen it. Especially with how accessible they're becoming. But yeah, either ways, eating it or not, I'm still going to be talking about this, you guys, so you guys can know more behind it, such as its origins, what it's made out of, and its nutrients, in case you guys are interested in tasting it. I think I am qualified to be talking about this and to deliver this speech altogether because I am usually interested in different cultures, and I'm a big fan of Asian snacks or Asian desserts, as you can see here. I have more in my fridge. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So first, we will begin, of course, with what mochi ice cream itself is. According to Antara Sinha, from an article she wrote in 2021, mochi ice cream is a popular Japanese dessert made from a sweet pounded rice dough wrapped around ice cream with texture similar of that to boba because of how chewy and soft it is. And now we will talk about how it's basically made. Traditionally, mochi ice, or the mochi itself, which is the dough surrounding the filling, is made with steamed glutinous rice pounded with water and sugar until it becomes the paste-like dough that we see. It's important. The ingredients that are important to have, in case you want to know what it has or if you want to make it yourself, would be shira tamako or mokito sweet rice flour in order to get the sticky results. However, it is also important to have potato or cornstarch to prevent the dough from sticking too much or just from sticking in general. You don't need the starch because you eventually dust it off. However, it is pretty important to have if you want to make a mochi or if you just want to know what it contains. If you are curious about the different flavors mochi may have, according to Japan House, University of Illinois, mochi consists of the flavors chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, mango, coffee, green tea, and sweet lychee, which sounds like a lot. So if you want to try it out, you can there's a bunch of choices for you. Okay, so now that we are familiar with the basics about mochi, we are going to now look behind the history and origins of how they came to be the way they are known now, or the way this dessert is known as today. According to Clara Serving in 2021, before there was mochi ice cream, there was just mochi itself. It is actually unclear to know when exactly mochi was invented. However, the technique of pounding rice into chewy treats dates back to Japan's Yayoi period, which would be from 300 BC to 300 AD. However, it wasn't until 1000 when mochi had become a common sweet for New Year celebrations, beginning to appear in dictionaries ever since as well. But however, despite mochi's long history, the invention of the ice cream itself was actually set in a different country, which in this case would be Korea, in the year of 1981. The purpose of this, well, actually, who made this was the Korean company named Lotte, who began selling this ice cream as a special type of snow viewing daifuku, with the purpose to enjoy while you're watching the snow, as it was said to enhance the experience of appreciating the snow's beauty, despite it being often said to have a very cold weather. So yeah, basically this type of ice cream was more metaphorical, like saying that despite how cold it may be on the outside, it's beautiful on the inside, just like the dessert. But this sweet was not really known as the mochi ice cream, or this invention that the Korean company made was not really known as the mochi ice cream at this point. The person that is often credited to be the creator of the mochi ice cream as we know it today, according to Teresa from Los Angeles Times 2012, would be Frances Hashimoto, who is or was one of Little Tokyo's most influential business leaders, who sadly died of lung cancer in her Pasadena home at the age of 69 years old during the year of 2012. However, that's really basically it about the history of mochi. There's actually way more, such as, the mochi, the dough itself originating from China and the Japanese making it themselves. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be making these the 3 main points. And now we are going to be looking at the nutrients behind the dessert. So according to this website named My Mochi from the year 2021, it is said that this small treat actually provides nutrients for your body, which would include bone strengthening calcium, blood pressure lowering potassium, and vitamin B as well. This treat also supplies your body with a decent amount of protein, which is essential for building muscles and preventing weight gain because of how satisfying it may be. Mochi ice cream is also really low on calories, as a bowl usually, the average bowl usually contains like 100 calories basically. So if you're a person like me who's on a diet, I really recommend just going for that instead of an ice cream, because it's actually pretty, despite how small it is, it's actually pretty satisfying just eating in small bites. Because if you eat it in one bite, it's pretty dangerous because you may choke. And it's true, it is a bit dangerous because of the dough. Another cool fact about mochi ice cream is that, well, according to an article that I've read from Gabriela 2020, mochi ice cream is both gluten and vegan free or dairy free, so there's lots of people that can get to enjoy this treat. Vegans, there's not really gonna be a barrier behind it. Okay, so that basically concludes my informative speech about mochi ice creams. Here we were able to see or know more of what mochi ice creams really are, their origins and history, as well as the nutrients it has. I really hope that you were well informed after my speech, and that next time you see a mochi ice cream, you remember my speech, or more of this video really. Thank you so much for watching.